Buddy! Woo, woo, woo. Welcome to What Are You? The best show in the Midwest.
Midwest?
Yes.
Jesus.
Nationally rated.
Nationally rated number 72. But yeah, welcome back to another episode of What Are You? First, we want to apologize for anyone who was expecting an episode last week. We wanted to attend an event through Black Student Alliance of Black Student Services that talked about how do we have a discussion about Kobe Bryant and remembering him and his legacy. So being part of the CU Denver community and really advocating for underrepresented groups, we felt it was important for us to be there and be a part of that conversation. So this week, we're going to have 2 episodes that will be coming out, and it won't be back to back, so this won't be like an hour-long episode.
Yeah.
But, so this episode, we're going to be talking about Black History Month and Black excellence and everything to do with us. So, but before we get started, we want to introduce a special guest on our show. We have Miss Aja Mejia.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
So Aja, go ahead and introduce yourself, what you do, who you are, who you is.
Okay, so hello. My name is Aja Marie Mejia. I am an international studies undergraduate at CU Denver. I'm also the president of the multiracial biracial.
So we are just going to go ahead and get right into it. Ray, I know you had a few talking points for our audience here. So
Yes. So basically, the whole main topic that I wanted to talk about today was, kind of like, what does Black history mean to you? Definitely for me, I think it's an ongoing continuum of just like, Black artists, musicians, athletes, continuing to further like their legacy and cementing themselves in history. I know, in elementary schools, we all seen, the stereotypically like known
Martin Luther King,
like,
Washington Carver.
Exactly. Exactly. And.
They did great things.
They did great things.
We're not
let this not be known. This is not a bashing at them at all.
Oh, yeah.
However, there are still, men and women among us who are still living, who are making historic, bounds today. And the discussion we had with Kobe Bryant, brought the discussion of, new historic events.
Yeah.
Definitely like
Absolutely.
in 5 years, we're going to talk about Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
In a different way.
In a different way. And he cemented himself into Black history.
Absolutely.
The way that we talk about Black people and Black history is like similar to like Native Americans, like they don't exist anymore. It's like Black people still.
Yeah, I feel like with Black history we kind of stopped. Like
after
we got the civil rights and Martin Luther King Jr., everyone else kind of like was pushed away. Yeah.
Well, one thing that I've definitely noticed is that those main figures are being used as a point of reference.
Yeah.
And the only point of reference,
Yeah.
and that there can't be anything after them or preceding them that could be significant because those are our archetypes of important figures and they need to be preserved in that way and they can't be shown in this light and you can't talk about their legacy like this.
Yeah.
So they just become the only point of reference and we can only talk about a portion of their life versus discussing it in the entire context.
Absolutely.
Especially within the education system.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes. And I think one person that we definitely highlight a lot in recent years is Barack Obama. And who knows if we would talk about him we wouldn't be talking about him if he wasn't the president, first of all.
No.
And so that's the thing. So we don't, a lot of people don't know the general knowledge of his contributions to Chicago when he was out there. And so exactly what you said. We have this like, Black people should strive to be like Martin Luther King Jr. and we don't ever talk about Malcolm X because people are scared of Malcolm X and like his philosophy. And I'm just like, I mean, it was the truth.
Yeah.
So
And even like going off of that, it's just like setting up this whole standard of like you have to achieve president level of success. And people are like,
to be considered significant.
Exactly. And it's just, people are like, I just want to make music. Like, I just want to dance.
Yeah.
And so then we start seeing like, Lil Nas X blowing up. Like I will always talk about Lil Nas X because he is country music.
Yes.
Yes.
Whether you like it or not, whether you are a fan of Luke Bryant,
Yeah.
you know, Kenny Chesney or something else, he's country music.
Mhm.
And like, I think, you know, there are very few, if not, you know, a very like small amount of like black country artists.
Yeah.
And for him to blow up the way that he did, shocked the country world.
Oh, absolutely.
I would like to say though, black country artists that have a mainstream audience.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, we talk about how Florida Georgia Line used trap beats with their song with Nelly. I can't hear, what was it? Cruise?
Yeah,
Cruise, that song. I see, this is like, I know like,
yeah.
all I know is Cruise. I don't know the song. Yeah, something like that.
Lady, you're strong.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go, Virginia.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, like definitely the last black country artist that I knew was like Darius Rucker.
Yeah, only when I'm with you.
Yeah, and that was Hootie from the Blowfish.
Yes.
Like, no one remembers him like in country music unless like you kind of dug around there. But like he did Wagon Wheel and like it kind of took off, but then he kind of just like
did do Wagon
Wheel. And then he got like waved off as like a white country artist, and everyone was like, no, he's black. And everyone's like, Darius Rucker ain't black. And I'm like, yeah, he is.
He ain't black.
And I'm like,
Come on, son.
he is. And so it's just like these little nuggets of like time of like how many people were, country world, they were definitely offended and definitely like not considering him part of that genre to the point where they pushed that song into like a pop, charts.
Yep.
However, Carrie Underwood, like Luke Bryant, Kenny Chesney were all part of the pop group.
Yep.
Before they
Taylor
came.
Swift.
Taylor
before
Swift.
She went straight pop.
Exactly. And so definitely like that, I felt like that musically was a good point of like black history and being like, hey, we should remember this guy.
Yeah.
For this music, for his like impact, for like opening like doors for many other black country artists who want to go into the field.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely. And small children will never let you forget that Old Town Road is like their favorite song. Children love that song. Have you all seen when he went to like a classroom and he performed that song?
Yeah.
And the kids were just
jumping,
losing their mind.
Yeah, half of them were doing Fortnite dances, the other them were like
It was insane.
And there was like one kid who was like sitting in the front who was like, who is this? And you're just like, hey, like, do y'all not, what do y'all, listen to Kids Bop? Come on, it's even about Kids Bop. Like,
I'm sure that they've probably made a Kids Bop version.
I'm sure. If they
100%,
haven't, then they're going to.
Yeah.
It's going to have to happen
It's
now.
going to be in Kids Bop 87.
Did you all by chance see that Google commercial for Black History Month where it was like showing the most searched things on the internet? So like most searched live performance was Beyonce's Homecoming.
Yes.
Most searched
Yeah.
remix was actually I thought you were going to talk about it, but like Lil Nas X is the most searched remix.
Oh wow!
Ever.
Yeah. Wow!
Ever. Like that's the thing. Like these are like ever. And so like most searched guitar solo was Prince.
Yes.
Most searched national anthem was Whitney Houston's.
Wow.
And so like please watch the commercial. It is so good, but it's just like I remember seeing like the thread on that on the internet. It was like, point is, none of y'all will be ish without black people in this planet, and like we control everything. And but it's and nobody. I think they showed it at the Grammys, like right before, which was the second day of February, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, they showed it at the Grammys, and nobody knew it was a Black History Month commercial until the end. And so like people were kind of alluding to it once they started watching it more and more.
Yeah.
But yeah, they like no idea. Like most searched poet was like Maya Angelou, of course. And so yeah, I highly recommend watching that commercial.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
It shows you how much the media controls like, well, how should we portray black people, right? Their success.
Yeah.
It's not shown.
Or how
much
should we like
often.
remember them?
Absolutely.
You know?
And it's just like it'd be silly for me to say like I'm not gonna remember the impact that Beyonce had,
Right.
like now and 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so like to ask the questions like, wouldn't that be history? It's like yes, but no. Like, and that's where it's like that kind of gray area of like, well, she's no Martin Luther King Jr. It's like exactly, she's Beyonce. She's not supposed to be. It's like we really need to separate ourselves from like the elementary school style of like how we thought about it, and now like we need to like see the vast decades that we've had of Black history.
So I'm curious to know the commercial, because I haven't seen it yet, but was it more of an acknowledging of contributions that Black people have made, but not outright saying these are significant contributions?
Right.
So it was more of a discreet way or covert way.
Yeah, because
okay.
they had it like, so basically how the commercial looks is that they have a search engine thing at the top, or like in the middle of the screen, and it says like most popular live performance or something like that, and they'll type in like different things at the end, like most searched, no, it's like most searched, and then they'll fill in the blank for it. It's like most searched blank, most searched yada yada yada. So it was like recognizing the contributions that these people made, but also recognizing like this is like all like everyone internationally like who uses Google, this is what the result comes up as. If you type most searched whatever. And so like I think like most searched athlete was LeBron James. And then I can't remember, I think Serena Williams was on there too. I think hers was specifically tennis players. So yeah, it was showing like basically all the contributions that Black people made in the community, and also like the impact that it has like internationally, because these people are searching specifically for that specific person, or saying tennis player, or anything like that. So I thought it was pretty dope.
That's good. But one thing that I might also push back on is that we can honor their contributions, but we can't talk about it in the full context. Or that discussion is more hushed in the mainstream representation of things. So we can honor, oh, Beyonce's this, Beyonce that, oh, she's such a queen and everything. But when it comes to what she did with that Super Bowl performance and those uniforms, oh, we can't talk about
I will forever talk about
Same.
that. I know not everyone feels that way, but I will forever like, and it sounds really bad, but that is forever my standard of what a Super Bowl performance should be.
Absolutely.
I know Coldplay was in there some way, somehow, but it was really Beyonce, and then it was like Beyonce featuring Bruno Mars, and I guess Coldplay. In my
100%.
opinion.
100%. And like, I think that's the frustration, because what was it? It was recently that like most, we'll always get it from like one year or another, or like one person of like, oh, like why does that be like just a month? Like we only know these certain people. But then when you like broaden the amount of persons that we know who've done an impact, who've like left a legacy or continue to leave a legacy, like this is stuff that we know every single day of the year. And so like, definitely, I don't know, I always get mad at people who are like, oh, like Black History doesn't need to be a month, and I'm like, it does.
Because we don't have the year.
Exactly. It's like
this country is built on our oppression.
It's very frustrating, because I feel as though like during this month, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, it's Black History Month. Now we can like enjoy like Black History, and I'm like, but you can do that like
always.
This and you can continue like doing research and like seeing like what's happening live with like LeBron James and his like contributions and like it's history is one of those like terms that a lot of people are cemented on just being 1990s or under. Where
now and it used to be like 80s.
And then and so it's this weird kind of thought process that most people are like kind of cemented on. Meanwhile, I'm like, like we're making things happen. We're bringing the Brown family back. Like, if that's not historic for Disney Plus, I don't know what is. You know what I mean? But like, we're doing things like consistently, even with. Okay, sorry for looking at it.
No, it's
even with Marvel bringing a Black Latino Spider-Man. Blew everybody out. Like everyone was like, no. We know Peter Parker as this person, but it made a historic impact because not many people read Marvel comics except for Spider-Man, and then they see this in New York.
And like and and I don't know have you all seen Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes. Absolutely.
It's one of those movies that like it's so good, and I didn't expect it to be that good. like I was like, oh, cartoon. I was like, oh, this is gonna be cute. It was exactly what I was thinking, and then I was watching it, and I was like, no.
There's just these little things that like you'll see that like you as like a person of color does with your family or like interacts or something like that, and you're like, oh man, like we definitely talked about this, and like it's just that connection, and it's like it's just a historic moment to kind of bring that comic to life and have like any little kid be like, I can be like him, and I'm like, like
you better wear your Air Force One to get up there.
It's like, but stop putting stickers on everywhere because we got out of library, like, but like it's those moments, like you wouldn't consider that next to Martin Luther King Jr., but it's still historic,
right?
Nonetheless,
right. And there's a lot of people. I'm not even
like even with like,
can be black. Can be.
I'm saying even with Black Panther. No one in the Marvel community thought that movie was gonna like work out, and then when they started seeing it, and then they saw Chadwick Boseman, they're like, "Guys, this has been the like universe that I've been with." And so like,
and Black people showed.
Everybody was
that,
so
like,
excited.
People were wearing their dashikis. People were like having performances before the movie. It was the dopest thing I've ever seen. So, like they're the only people that I've seen like put that much effort into like a movie showing was like Harry Potter. Harry Potter, and then maybe the Twilight series, and like other Marvel movies, but it wasn't.
It wasn't
like
as
that.
impactful as Black Panther, because we did have Spawn. We did have like the Blade series with Spike Lee.
I'm so excited for this next one.
You know what I mean? Like in like those movies we watched, but it was historic for Black Panther specifically because there were so many like cultural references and like so much things that everyone was like, "Yo, this empowers us as a community to watch this." Not even like these actors, not even this like movie, this event.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think like that should be cemented into like history.
Absolutely. So something else that also went down in Black history was the Oscars this week, and Hair Love, which is a short animated film, won, which is super exciting. I read the book for it when I was at an airport because I saw it and I put it back. I'll buy it one day.
Did you see the short?
Yes, I saw the short animated film for it, and like Issa Rae's narrating it, but what is it? The co-producer for it, her name is Karen Rupert Tolliver. She's the first Black woman to win in the animated short series ever in 2020.
Yes, this is the 92nd. Like
this is the first.
Yes,
this is the first. But regardless of that, I'm not gonna say regardless because this is way overdue.
Oscars, what are you doing?
What they've always been doing.
We're all going like, and I think definitely like Joaquin Phoenix brought this up in 2 different award series. Like he brought it up in the BAFTAs, which is like the British Film Awards, and he also brought it up during the Oscars, where he was like, "Guys, we are not doing nearly enough to show the contributions
all
that
the white people were shook.
everybody was shook." But he was like, "Yo, we have not done enough to show like diversity within the Academy Awards,
and it's our job
to do that." And there are a lot of movies that were snubbed from the Oscars. Definitely. Queen and Slim should have got some type of nomination, if not some type.
Didn't get any nomination.
Didn't get nothing, dude. And like that, like if anyone who hasn't seen Queen and Slim, I definitely recommend that you watch it.
I need to watch it.
I need to watch it too.
Definitely recommend you go see it. Because it's a very impactful movie.
Yeah.
And another snub, Just Mercy. With Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx.
Incredible things
It's
about that movie.
insane. And the lawyer who it's based off still lives today.
He helps with it.
The case happened in February of 1993.
It's
So
not that far.
when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh man, this must be going true events. This is Alabama." Da da da. Then when we got the timestamp, I was like, "Oh,
this is recent."
I was a little gordito like a month later. You know what I mean? Like I was a little baby. Like a month later, and just like to think about like all those things that happened while I was born and stuff like that. Like, it's just so much. And
Absolutely.
And I can't. I'm sorry. I'm gonna bring it back to Hair Love because
go ahead. It's such a good.
I'm just like, it's just one of those like things that I wish that I would have had as a kid. Honestly, I would have loved to have seen a book like that, especially about hair, because I was so insecure about my hair when I was younger. And so like seeing that, like, and especially like seeing a dad do her hair, like when the mom's away, like first, yes, that is your responsibility as well to get your babies ready in the daytime and to go to school. You can't have them looking all crazy or anything like that. My poor dad tried his hardest. He got real creative sometimes. My mom was like, ooh, okay. But that was like, it was just such like an impactful story that I think like not only children needed to see, but like even like us as like grown adults now, we were like, wow, like this is beautiful, and like I can't wait to show my kids this, or my grandkids, or cousins or nephews or whatever it might be. And like I said, like it's that connection. Like I wish I had this when I was younger, because this is, I mean, even that is like way overdue. Being able to have like a short talking about such a big topic such as hair. I mean, we talk about it all the time here.
Absolutely. I know you and I have had a lot of conversations in the office about hair and what different routines we're trying and what products work and what don't.
So it's very much needed. And but I agree, like I think we as, and not just CU Denver, but we as a nation need to do a better job of talking about Black History Month and like talking about more than one narrative. Because it's, I only learned about the same rotating 6 people every year in Black History Month, and they try to cramp Civil War and civil rights in 1 month. When we have 2 months to talk about World War II or something like that.
And like definitely like, you know, definitely bringing out the positive side and the founders of the month that we've seen, along with the struggles that we still face today, and like, you know, the struggles that, you know, face then and now, and like understanding that the end of Black Klansman, if anyone has seen it, happened literally a few years ago. And you know, it wasn't too long ago, and we have to recognize it.
And it was here.
It was here, and you know, the end part, if you've seen it, like it shows like little glimpses of like Charlottesville. It's important. That's 100% important, you know, to show the impact of like how much the opposition is still against, you know, people of color.
If I could just hop into that,
Yes.
because my point goes off of that as well. But one thing that I don't think is discussed enough is how much these federal institutions tried to intercept the formation of you know, communities of color coming together. It even happened here in Denver with the Chicano movement and everything. How the FBI was doing intense surveillance into these groups. And how these institutions were breaking all of these laws and violating the Constitution and scheduling and carrying out attacks on these groups who were trying to fight for just human decency and equal rights for all.
Sim-ish happened to the Black Panther movement.
Exactly. And so, right here in Denver too. But, you know,
and again, like we don't
discuss
hear about that
exactly.
with white supremacists.
Exactly.
We don't do that with white supremacists. At least not. It's
very hush hush.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Racism's dead. No.
No.
Everybody's here.
Yeah.
We're here. Everyone's living. There's no slavery. See, you can drink out of that water fountain too.
You can ride that buzz.
Ooh, I'm getting
a little rascal.
I mean, just overall, you know, knowing that history is continuum. It's, you know, it continues, and we cannot forget, you know, definitely the people who impacted it most, and the impactful people, persons, events that are continuing today. Include that into Black History Month.
Yes.
And continue your research on like Black history every day.
We also should incorporate talking about who's telling the story and whose perspective gets to be the one that's portrayed, especially in textbooks and things like that. Oh my goodness, no, you are not going to mention the Black Panther Party. Are you crazy? They're a militant group that's dangerous, and we can't talk about them and all that stuff. But, you know, the people in power get to write the history that's passed on to younger generations. And those communities in anything. Because we are the ones that are silenced.
True.
Well,
do your part.
Yeah.
I know. If Aja said it, do it.
Yeah.
Teach
Pick up a
accurate
book.
history.
Yeah.
Written by somebody of color.
There you go.
Please.
Yeah. For sure.
And for this month, somebody who's black.
Yes. So I encourage you all during Black History Month to really go out there and not only just learn about Black culture, but also support Black businesses.
Yes.
Go to restaurants, go buy a book written by a Black author, go see Queen and Slim, go see Just Mercy. There's a lot of different ways that you can support Black people other than educating yourself on Black culture, which you should
Absolutely.
still do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. But you all heard the alarm.
That's
We are
our
out of
means.
time.
Yeah.
But we want to thank you again for listening in today. Thank you, Aja, for
thank
coming
you.
on
Wonderful
the
guest.
show.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah, it was also her
Sorry,
birthday
Sarah,
earlier this week too. We have 2 Aquarius in the house.
Hey.
Yep.
Wow, y'all really side next to each other too.
Yeah, I know. I was like, alright.
Aquarius power.
Everyone else here right now. Okay.
All right, we will be back with our same clothes talking about Valentine's Day. So
Hey.
we're just gonna keep the live
I think
stream
you're gonna give
going.
me a high five.
We're gonna keep the live stream going. We're gonna switch up some things, take a quick break.
Cool.
And then if you want to listen to this next week, whatever, go ahead. But we're gonna be talking about Valentine's Day next.
Yes.
On
What are you?